I'm now going to begin to explore some windowing frameworks. One of the ones I'll look at is GLFW. It's a pretty good framework for OpenGL. However, I'm not sure it'll work well with many windows. So to create a GLFW window, this is all you need to do. Create the window. I'll create 25 windows. And let's just see what the performance is. So here's all the windows. It seems a little slow to build them. And as I move this window around, you can see it really doesn't work too well. See how it's very slow when it's moving? Also, let's try to resize. Look at this. Look at how slow this is. So the more windows I make, the slower it will be. And there's really nothing going on in this window. So GLFW will probably work really well for a single window, maybe two, maybe three. However, when there are many of these windows, I'm not so sure it's going to work that well. So this may not be a viable option. The other component of GLFW is I would have to use something like IMGUI, which is more of a debugging utility for GUIs. It's not that polished. Everything looks exactly the same. There's not much customization that can be done unless you rewrite most of the framework. And it sits on top of everything else. So it's more of a debugging utility. And I'd like to be a little more professional, if you will. So GLFW is probably not going to work. I need something a little better. So now I'm going to take a look at this framework. It's called Qt. And you can create windowing system. It's a graphical user interface framework. It runs on Linux, Mac, and Windows. And it looks like Autodesk uses this to build their software. They've built things like Autodesk Maya. So take a look at this. It's a 3D program. Nuke is a visual effects program. Looks like Google Earth was made using this framework. Also looks like Spotify was used, so it seems pretty good. So I'm going to try the same test that it was done with GLFW. I'll try to make 25 windows. Let's see what happens. Alright, so now I'm going to try the same thing. So I created a window. So I'm going to be using C++. And I created my own window, which will be able to utilize OpenGL. These are the methods that are required for OpenGL. And some things for the window to actually accept keyboard events, closing of the window, resizing the window, etc. So here, we'll just put in 25. So put in 25 windows. I'm going to run it. I'll see what happens. Now I am running this in debug mode as well. So it means performance will not be as high as it was with GLFW. So here's my 25 windows. So if I move this around, it looks pretty good. There's no tearing. If I resize the window, that looks pretty good too. Look, response time is pretty good. So far this definitely is beating the GLFW performance-wise. This is definitely better. But let's go ahead and I want to take it for a test. So I'm going to make this, I'll make it 125 windows. Now let's see. So I'll make it 125 windows. Let's see how this performs. Now, when I was using GLFW, there really wasn't much to do. All you do is just create the window, and GLFW handles it. Now, unless I go into GLFW code myself, update it, and try to enhance it, I can make those windows probably more efficient. However, it's supposed to be a lightweight framework just for windowing. However, in Qt, it does offer me the ability, again in C++, to create my own windows from scratch. And this is 125 windows. And look, the performance is really good. So if it's written well, then the performance will behave quite nicely. So this is 125 windows. Now let's take this for another test here. Let me make this 250 windows. So far it looks like this framework is pretty nice in terms of the ability to make it very efficient and have, in this case, many windows. I think GLFW is used more for just a single window for a game, or maybe 2 or 3 windows. However, Qt really does offer the ability to enhance from the windowing side itself. And it's also cross-platform, so that means everything will work. Keyboard events, windowing events. It also has the ability to, has a whole GUI system in it for buttons, combo boxes, labels, and everything can be customized. And it looks like all those other large software organizations are using it. And their software is pretty mature, so I think this will probably be the choice that I will go with. So here we go. Here's 250 windows. Now this is my main window. This right here is just a shadow. And since all the windows are on top of one another, you can see like these nice little shadows that I can get. So that's 250 windows, and this is still moving strong. Look at that. That's pretty good. That's great performance. I'm pleased. And of course I can close all the windows. That's pretty good. So there's still one more thing I need to check. So let me go ahead and stop this. Okay, so here's the memory that my application is using. And I want to be able to control that memory. So every time I close a window, I should start to see that actually decreasing. Which I am, which is good. So that means that I'm able to manage the memory. I've done a decent job. Remember, I have 250 windows open. So the more windows that I close, that number decreases, which is a good thing. So that's working properly. So that's fantastic. So I'm pleased, and I think I'll be using Qt as the framework for this application.